Hello, you're watching Access. My name's Dave and I'm joined today by Nath.
Hello.
And this is 8 ways you'll be surprised about Watch Dogs.
Oh, will I?
Yes, you specifically, Nath.
Right,
this video is just for you. Although hopefully someone else will get something out of it as well. So the first thing, the first way that I was surprised by, because I played it recently, was that the multiplayer was brilliant.
Okay.
And I mean, this might say more about me than it does about Watch Dogs, but I wasn't, and I'm talking specifically about the hacking mode. It's the only one I play.
Where other people enter your game, right?
Exactly, or you enter other people's games.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought...
It seemed like a faff.
I thought it was going to get in the way. I thought people were just going to come in and ruin my experience and I was going to hate it. But it was the opposite of that. It was really, really good. First of all, getting hacked is as soon as you realise... First of all, you could sort of spot it. Right. I was driving along and I heard this sort of commotion behind me, had a little look, and there was a car driving quite erratically and quite fast who suddenly then got close enough to me and sort of slammed on the brakes and tried to act natural.
Incognito.
Exactly. And I was straight onto them. I pulled into a shopping centre and I shot their car to bits.
Good.
Which was excellent.
That's how you deal with trouble on the road.
He didn't even get to start hacking me, which I was very proud of. But even when you are being hacked, it's just an exciting event. It's you know, just exhilarating, really. Trying it, suddenly you've got to find out who's doing it, and when you do find them, then like a chase starts, and then that's cool. That's more of a sort of head-to-head.
So how do you? Because one of the things that I saw is that Ubisoft just released a multiplayer walkthrough this week, and that's probably what you'll be watching right now as we talk through this section. And one of the things was people appear as random NPCs to you when you're playing a multiplayer, so you don't know who is hacking you.
That's
right. Kind of looking around, and this guy he decided to scatter the crowd by shooting a gun in the air to kind of thin out who was. And this other guy was hiding in a taco truck, which was cool. And obviously, so you have like different ways of dealing with. You know, you can try and act natural, like one of the NPCs is going crazy, or you can just see how long you can just hang out. You know, just hiding. Basically.
That's it. I think people are going to find more and more interesting ways of doing it, and that's what's quite exciting about it. It's like even in the short time that I had with it, you know, I was blending in with NPCs, and then someone would come up with a way like that of trying to scare away the NPCs, or they try and get to a place when they thought they were being hacked. They try and get to a very secluded area, so you wouldn't be able to blend in really. Right. I mean, you could try and just be the one NPC who's just casually strolling around in a circle. Yeah, I think it's exciting, and more exciting than being hacked really is hacking, which I really enjoyed. You just have to, because there's so many different ways of doing it, and again, it feels like you're being a bit naughty. You know, it's quite cheeky. It's like I'm going to take something away from you, and when you pull it off, you feel like a hero. And when you pull it off as well, you gain notoriety, which is like think of it like a thermometer. So the more notoriety you gain, the higher the slide goes, and you unlock skills that you can use. But when you are hacked, or when you lose a hack, your notoriety can go down again, and you can lose those skills. So it's like a constantly sliding scale. It's not like you just gain more and more and more.
Maintain all the time.
Exactly, yeah. Which I thought was really cool. So
I'm surprised.
I'm glad. I was surprised.
What's number 2?
Number 2 is hacking. I've said that word a lot already. Is everywhere and is integral. Right. And the cynical side of me thought that perhaps Watch Dogs, I thought perhaps
it'd be 10 different ways.
Would be exactly. It'd be like 10 ways, and it would be like now and again, and it would be very scripted. It's not at all. It's everywhere, everything. I think there are 72 different kinds of hacks.
There's over 100, Dave.
Are there really?
I made a video about this earlier on in the week.
Wow. Okay, so there's over 100 kinds of hacks, and they are everywhere, and you don't have them all at the start, but you're wandering around, and you're seeing cameras and little devices and networks and people, other phones, and you can do it all the time, and it's very, very effective, especially like, in your car, hacking stuff all the time, bridges and bollards and traffic lights.
So what you're saying is, in this game about hacking is good?
Yeah, and like I said, I was just a bit cynical, and I thought maybe it would be very specific, like here's a mission and now you've got this hack that you can use, but it's just all the time you're roaming around hacking stuff willy-nilly.
Right,
so
willy-nilly hacking,
which I was
point
very
number 2.
pleased about. Point number 3, it's got a sense of humour.
Right, okay.
I think a lot of what we've seen from Watch Dogs is quite dark. Aiden's quite a sort of serious.
Gruff man in a mask and a hat.
That's right. I mean, the story's quite serious.
Hitting people with a nightstick, that's quite serious.
Yeah, it is. And just hacking and surveillance, it's all quite a dark, subject.
It's a bit cool.
Within the game, there's actually a surprising amount of humour. this character we're looking at now, he's particularly funny, and sort of right from the start adds a kind of just a comedy vibe to an otherwise serious situation, which is quite
The giant
welcome.
spider struck me as quite.
The giant spider.
If we're going to come on to them in a minute, then perhaps I've proceeded.
No, we can talk about them now. I will return later. Yeah, the giant spider. That's something called Digital Dreams, I think, and it's you get like sort of dealers of them on the street. They can sell you them, and it's basically like a little audio device you put in your ear that makes you go into a trance and sort of live out these digital dreams.
But the idea of it, just the idea of
exactly the idea of
it's
really
like
it's just loads of fun. Yeah, exactly. It's completely over the top.
Aliens in GTA 5 as well.
Exactly. Also, like you can hack like video screens. So I was driving down the highway. You know those big signs that say like "There's an accident ahead" or you know "Don't drink and drive." You can hack them, and they just change.
People do drink and drive,
and they'd hack them. No, well, but just funny stuff like memes. It was sort of referencing memes and stuff like long. I changed one to "Long cat is long," and everybody be awesome to everyone, and I am disappoint, son. So it was just, I don't know, it was nice. It surprised me. As the video says, it was surprisingly sort of funny and yeah, enjoyable in that sense, which is cool. Okay, number 4. Just a quick one. There's a crafting system. So kind of think The Last of Us. Okay. You can collect certain ingredients and then craft little disposable things on the fly, like a lure. And
like a
allure, like,
I was
going to say,
like a sound. That sounds like a perfume.
Allure for men, and yeah, like explosive kinds of things.
Right.
So
okay.
Yeah, which is really handy when you're approaching certain.
Do you kneel down and do it a bit like Joel? Is that the kind of?
It's just within the weapon wheel, so it's not, it doesn't really sort of take any time. Not like Joel, not in that kind of time is of the essence way.
I don't think I've heard anything about this at all.
Yeah,
so that really is surprising.
There you go. I've at least surprised you at least once. Maybe I'll have to change the name of the video. Number 5. There's no branching storylines, which isn't necessarily surprising, I suppose, but it's just the whole sort of, you'd expect like a good and evil thing.
Because you can act towards, because it's stuff like when you hack into CTOS, you become aware of crimes which are probably going to take place, and then you can choose to intervene or not, and that did make me think maybe there was a branching moral story.
And just the whole thing of, you see in other games where if you would attack a lot of NPCs, or if you're
people
good,
boo you.
There's a lot of decisions that you can make in the game in that sort of good and negative way, which I'm going to come on to, but they don't affect the story, which personally I think is
so you can just do what you want. That's why, because you can murder people, leave them in an alley, and nothing will change.
Exactly, and it affects the gameplay, but not the story.
Right. Yeah, because people are more or less likely to call the police or more or less intimidated.
Exactly, yeah, but the story is the same. I think that's cool. And in our interview, actually, which you can watch on the channel, the creative director described it as like he wanted Watch Dogs to be like a painting, where it's it's the same. It's ultimately the same for everyone, but you can see it in different ways. You can take different ways of things away from it, which was quite cool. So yeah, okay. So number 6, Aiden's phone isn't just for show, and by that I mean you knew it was going to be a big thing. You press square to hack and stuff, and he's doing that with his phone. Yeah. But actually, you can bring it up, and it's got a lot of like apps on it that you can use
weather
all the time. No, but you can order cars from it. You can You can set up playlists with it and unlock music and stuff. But you can also do like VR games. So you can there's like a little alien shooting one. So not like the digital trips. It's like in the open world. It just comes up wherever you are. You look through your phone and you're shooting stuff. Or it's like a coin collecting one as well. And there's also like a sort of sightseeing tour app where you like visit different parts of Chicago, get a bit of info about them.
That is cool.
There's like a gift.
Is it real
leaving.
Chicago?
There's sites there. Yeah, they're like things from real Chicago.
Digital sightseeing.
So it's like a whole. It's like a. They said they wanted to create as much of a sort of virtual smartphone as possible, and they really have. Like it's got lots going on there. It's like, I mean, really a lot. It's not just the number buttons and a contacts page. Like there's loads of stuff. So that was really cool. Number 7, it's not just Assassin's Creed in Chicago
with a coat.
Yeah, and I wasn't necessarily worried about this because I like Assassin's Creed, but I
Yeah.
was surprised because I thought it would be, it's another open world and it's Ubisoft, and you'd
Makes
think
sense.
they'd just go,
Why
we
wouldn't
already
they?
do this really well. Why don't we just, do it but somewhere else?
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
not like that at all. Like, it's just completely different, really, and that was really pleasing. It's a really new IP. I mean, even like there are aspects that are the same, like sort of free running and stuff.
Yeah.
The free running's very different. The control scheme is different. It's not like Assassin's Creed at all.
Huh.
The free running's much more sort of mechanical. You don't just run at stuff and he just climbs it. You have to press a button to specifically to do it. So there's not so much mistaken free running, shall we
Yeah,
say, when you
yeah.
accidentally find yourself up a box or something.
Yeah.
So that was really good. And lastly, the way it surprised me last was that it actually made me think.
It made me laugh when you told me that this is one of the things you were going to say earlier on.
Yeah.
Because make you think.
Yeah.
It's obviously something you say to people who make a stupid point on the internet. I'm not saying that's what you're doing right now.
It just surprised me how, because a big part of the game is just you can see all these NPCs, you can find out all about their lives, and you can hack them and steal their money. And
you
you'd
can
think,
see what they are.
you'd think
Scientologists, charity worker.
exactly. Well, this is the thing. You'd think money is important for a game. I'd buy cars and I'd buy guns and stuff with it, and this is an easy way to get money. I'll just hack everybody. But I found myself just a few lines from a person and their bank balance would stop me from stealing
Small
from them.
bits of
It would be
humanity.
like charity worker, and then you'd feel a bit bad, or they'd only have like $8,000 like salary, and you think,
Right,
oh,
right.
I don't know, that's
can't
kind of
afford
bad.
it.
But then it was brilliant when you found like a horrible person and like a lawyer, and you really wanted to hack them, and they had loads of money. And also it does make you think about being surveilled. I know Chicago's supposed to be the most surveilled city in the world, and I think that's why they set watchdogs there. And one of the ways that Aiden hacks stuff is he can only hack through line of sight, but he can do that remotely. So if he sees a camera, he can hack it,
Right.
and then depending on through that camera what that sees, he can hack that, and you find yourself suddenly just looking at these sort of very public spaces in a different way. They're just completely overlooked everywhere, and it's just a little bit scary, but in a good way. It just makes you think, which I was surprised about, rather than just gladly sort of running around killing everybody in sight. I was a little bit sort of like, oh,
Make you think.
yeah. So that's the 8 ways that I was surprised by Watch Dogs. I think everyone will be a bit surprised. It's absolutely fantastic, and I really can't wait to have another go on it, and I hope that I've convinced you of the same.
Well, I'm excited, and I'm excited we're hopefully going to get to play some of it before release with some new gameplay. So,
Yes, absolutely.
So look out for that.
Yeah, so yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on that, or indeed anything to do with PS4, PS3 or PlayStation Vita.